right?
Watch your fucking.
We're on live, dude. What are you doing? You just went up. You said that. That's awesome. I can't believe. I mean, that's just insane.
I was just telling you about how like I spilled coffee and I was like, gosh darn it, what the frick?
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Delicious. Delicious. I think we've heard enough of this. I think we heard enough of this. We calmed down.
Normally it's like way shorter. So I thought you had already faded it out, and I was like, we're talking, and then
we're talking.
And then it kept
we're
going.
Talking. No, I was just distracted by some harsh language as soon as we went live.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Understandable. Demonetized.
Welcome. Demonetized. We're already in trouble. Thank you, Corey. Welcome to the StewKast Wrestling Podcast. I am Lou Marconi at lmarconi251 at lmarc on Instagram at lmarconi1973 on X. My partner, co-host,
Corey Castle.
At Corey Castle everywhere. The man.
Pro wrestler, actor, podcaster, and all of the things.
And comedian.
Yeah.
You're a comedian. Yes. And, very funny guy. You're a funny guy.
A funny comedian.
Yeah. What's that supposed to mean? I'm a funny guy? Huh? Come on, quoting Goodfellas.
Yeah. Well, I was in the middle of taking a sip.
Wonderful.
Of my excellent Hemisphere coffee roasters.
Hemisphere Coffee. That's sponsor of the show. Thanks for the plug. Yes, Hemisphere Coffee Roasters. Link is in the description. Thank you for joining us. Check out our sponsor. Click on the link. Order up some good coffee. It is a company out of Mechanicsville, Ohio, which is just outside of Columbus, Ohio. So definitely check that out. Good coffee, good roasters. Hemisphere Coffee Roasters. All right. Hey, Dan, thanks. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. We're going to do some pro wrestling talk and just get right down to business. So, what did you want to dive into first, Corey? Do you want to talk about Raw, Monday Night Raw?
I kind of wanted to talk about the Vince McMahon docuseries that's coming up.
Okay, when is that released? What's that date? It's on
September 25th, I believe. It's going to be on Netflix.
2 weeks.
Yeah, it's coming right up.
Okay, 2 weeks.
So I think it was recorded 3 years prior to the whole like allegations in the Janelle Grant case.
What's that young lady's name again?
Janelle Grant.
Janelle Grant. Yes.
Jay Anal.
Hey. Hey. It's a family show.
Zip it.
So, yes. So this was done years before then? Is that what you're telling me?
I think a good chunk of it was recorded, like as far as the interviews and like some of the scam. It might be laced in, you know what I mean? Because they've had time since then.
Yeah.
To use retrospect. Isn't
there a deal that WWE has with Netflix or are they working on it? So they're still, and yet they're going to do this hit piece on Vince. It's kind of.
Well, I mean, it's Vince isn't running the company, so I mean,
I guess, but I mean, it's still, it could make the company look bad.
I think casually the fans who are watching that are going, "Oh, it's going to be a whole different product now. Why don't we check it out?"
Right.
Like, I think I don't think it's harmful to the product to have a documentary acknowledging the problematic nature of the company previous to now.
Right.
Because what it is now isn't what it was then.
Right. I don't know. I'm going to watch it objectively, and we'll come on here. We'll talk about it. Let me double.
Is it true that there's supposed to be Pat Patterson allegations in this as well? I know for me, for my years in the business, people have always said that there's stuff when it comes to that guy. But I don't know anything personally, and I don't know any. I've never heard anything secondary or anything. So that's something I'm curious about.
There's all kinds of stuff about Pat Patterson, and it's almost as if he was an easy target, to say the least, because he was homosexual. Let's see. Yep, limited series coming September 25th. All right. I wonder if it's going to be like parts of it, like his early life when he took over. You know what I mean? I wonder if they're doing that.
I don't think they're gonna. I don't know. Maybe, but I don't. I mean, it's weird because it's like it's for the casual person. Do you think they're gonna like reintroduce people to what pro wrestling is? And that would be like too much of a round the block sort of thing.
True. But I think you got to understand the business a little bit to understand his thinking and his way of. Let me see. I'm trying to look and see. I'm trying to look on IMDb. Let's see. Is this the 9? No, not the 9 Lives of Vince McMahon. There we go. Mr. McMahon. It's called Mr. McMahon. And it's one episode. It premieres September 25th. I'm on IMDb now, checking it out. So interesting. So go ahead. So what else did you want to talk about on this? Because really, it's just a matter of taking a look at it. Because this is W experienced record-breaking highs and crushing lows. Vince McMahon's leadership and Mogul's controversial reign. So
I watched Raw and SmackDown. I didn't take any notes. I did also I just saw some highlights from AEW. I didn't really dive into it. That's kind of how it's going to have to be because I
got so much going on. But we could talk wrestling. Yeah. Let me, because I saw that with Adam Pearce, good friend. Adam's a good friend. I haven't seen him in years, and I'm glad that he's got work there. Let me see. The Bad Blood is in October. Bad Blood WWE. It's October 5th, and they pretty much announced the Hell in the Cell for CM Punk, Drew McIntyre. Do you think this will be the blow off?
Hope so.
Do you think it's okay?
I mean, if it isn't, what is a blow off? You know what I mean? Like,
well, it's still a family show, but yeah, what people watching this. What blow off we mean is pretty much ending the feud, is what we're saying by a blow off. It's like, and I also got the vibe that the strap match at Bash at Berlin was the match that did it, and I love the match. I like those types of matches because I haven't seen a strap match in so long, and they
don't happen. They don't happen
that often. And
I couldn't tell you in the modern era in WWE.
I worked one in my 23-year career, so yeah, absolutely.
I've never had. I mean, I've been on shows where they take place. I've been in collar matches. There's big chains. Like it's kind of the same, similar
Yeah, the Piper Valentine Classic in Starrcade. Yeah, I think something happened to Piper's ear in that match. He got his ear messed up. It was bleeding. I don't know what happened, but
Roddy Pipey ear.
Yeah, Roddy Pipey ear. Because I remember when I had to do the strap match, and this is a shoot. I was trying to find out ways to do it, and I'm like, I actually went on YouTube and looked up old matches. Like there was one in Madison Square Garden. It was Dusty Rhodes and Superstar Billy Graham, and they turned that into an angle with because Jay Strongbow was a special referee, and Billy Graham ended up, putting over Dusty because Dusty was probably going back to Florida anyway. So, but they put it into an angle to lead up to Billy Graham and Strongbow is what they did. But interesting. It was interesting. So yeah, see that one. I don't know. Is anything else announced for Bad Blood yet? Because I think they're Uso. He's probably going to end up Braun Breaker at Bad Blood.
Oh yeah, the Intercontinental title match.
Intercontinental, yeah, that I'd like to see. He was over like gangbusters.
This thing, I don't know how it caught on as hard as it did, but this arm thing, for anybody listening to the audio,
what were they saying? What were they chanting?
Yeet, and then doing this thing with their hands.
I don't know what that
movement all over again.
Yeah, well, it was just interesting because my wife was like, "What are they doing?" Christine was like, "What are they doing?" I said, "I just looked at it. I don't know, but it's cool. It was pretty cool." And yeah, it's like I said, it was. I think that'll be a fun match to watch. One thing I liked about Raw too was Natalia getting Natalie was getting the sharpshooter victory in Calgary. Of course, that was going to happen.
I said to Alyssa as that happened, I was like, all right, so they're trying to develop this team, the Pure Fusion Collective. They're trying to get over this like heel faction. This is like a thing they always do. Let's piece together 3 people who are in a team and have them beat them clean in the middle of the ring with a submission. And these are like submission experts. That's like their gimmick. Okay. To get the Canadian pop, get it. Go ahead. I didn't understand it, but I was like, sure. Yeah. It's just so that Natalia can go over in Canada because Brett was there.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I mean, Brett in Canada. Then wasn't Sami Zayn? Wasn't he wearing the Calgary Flames?
The player that just died. Man, I wish I forgot. I remember their name.
There was a Columbus Blue Jackets player that died. He was on a bike and he was hit by a drunk driver. It was tragic. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I'm thinking that's probably the 2 matches there. Let me take a look and see if there's any matches announced for the Bad Blood.
Well, I was, as we were watching, and Adam Pearce was doing the promo to announce that at Bad Blood it was going to be Hell in a Cell. As like right before he was doing it, I was like, it's going to be in Hell in a Cell. It's going to be a Hell in a Cell. It's going to be Hell in a Cell. And then he's like, Hell in a Cell. And I looked at Alyssa and she was like, how'd you do that?
How'd you know?
I was like, well, I mean, I just figured because the first Bad Blood was the first Hell in a Cell match. That, since they're bringing back the concept of Bad Blood, they're going to put another Hell in a Cell match on it. And that's the feud that most warrants using that extreme.
Let's see. I'm looking to see if there's anything announced. Let's see. Let me see the CM Punk, Drew McIntyre. Let's see. I'm on the WWE website now. They're showing featured superstars. I'm like, is Cody going to be on this one? Probably. Accept all cookies. I hate when that happens. So they'll probably do something with Rhea Ripley too. They're putting that one hard. But let me see. I don't. Yeah. Oh, it's in Atlanta. It's in State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. And right now, the only match that they're advertising is the CM Punk. But I would probably think it's Uso and
Breaker. Yeah.
Yeah, Breaker. Yeah, that one definitely they're going to do that. So, do you think they're going to do anything with the with any angles involving SmackDown into Bad Blood? Because I know they who was it that the way they ended the show, having the yeah, will Bad Blood be on Peacock? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, it was interesting because that SmackDown was the last Fox SmackDown.
Yeah, they're moving to USA.
Mm-hmm.
That's starting next Friday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. And
I'm gonna check my DVR because I think it'll just automatically do it. I don't think I have to read.
And I'm thinking too, and I'm also thinking too. You call me crazy. I'm also thinking that they're going down to 2 hours on Raw.
Mm-hmm. Did you hear that announced anywhere, or is that just what you think?
That's what I heard that announced. That was announced. They're going down to Raw's going down to 2 hours.
Because Raw, it's like an hour of commercials, really. Like when you look at it, it's only 2 hours of the show, and like a good portion of that is replays. They're replaying stuff that happened when they got back from a commercial break that took them 15 minutes. So like it's going to be interesting to see how it is going to function on Netflix now. I'm very optimistic and very curious about what's going to happen when Raw moves to Netflix.
Yeah, that is going to be, but supposedly it's going down to 2 hours. Okay. Oh, it's going to be Saturday, October 5th at 6:00 p.m. Eastern. Okay. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Hell in the Cell, Damian Priest, Finn Balor. Okay. You got Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. So that's what we got so far. Mm-hmm. So you figure there's probably at least 2 or 3 more to announce, but they didn't announce the Braun Breaker Uso on here. It's not on the site. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the last match will be the Hell in the Cell.
Well, I part of me was thinking that they were gonna like change plans for that whole Intercontinental Championship thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not the Intercontinental Championship thing, the World Championship thing, and put that on Sammy because like of Brett was talking about a Canadian champion a whole bunch of times on Raw.
Yeah, with
Sammy
Gunther.
And he was like Gunther did the Bret Hart. He told Bret Hart that his favorite wrestler was Goldberg. What a troll.
That's
what a troll. I wonder what the relationship between Triple H and Bret Hart is. Like, I mean, Bret Hart like hates pretty hard on Triple H, but Bret Hart hates pretty hard on anybody and everybody.
Yeah. Hey, do you think he's bitter?
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, there's a lot of ex-wrestlers I know that are bitter. I could tell you, I'm not one of them. To be honest with you.
What's it get you? Really?
Get you more bitterness.
It's just you're just gonna wind up having more bad in your life if you're just bitter.
Yep. Doesn't taste good. Doesn't taste good at all. It's not good for you. Absolutely not. What any predictions you have so far? Because I know we got that October 5th and we got the Vince McMahon thing coming up, and we got about 5 minutes left in the show. Is there any predictions you have at this time? What do you think? What are you expecting from the Vince McMahon doc and anything else that's coming up?
I predict that this is gonna probably be a snowball effect, and more stuff's gonna come out about not just Vince McMahon, but the people in his inner circle. And the word inner circle that became a thing like later on was actually an insider term that we used within the business. The inner circle meaning like the people who like surround themselves with like the main stooges that hang around with the biggest boss.
Like a Pat Patterson.
Right.
Bruce
So
Pritchard.
more stuff about the inner circle is going to come out. Yeah. That's what I kind of think is going to happen. It's going to snowball. And more people who are victims of Vince McMahon are going to come out and say some of the stuff, you know, some of the stuff that's been swept under the rug, because that's what WWE and Vince McMahon's legal team has done for years and years, has swept everything under the rug and made everything, made every claim that anyone's ever made. No, we're not going to even acknowledge it. Like,
there's so much.
You know that personally. When it comes to lawsuits and it comes to any sort of thing that could like really damage their reputation, they've found a way to illegitimize it.
Got a copy of it right here. Got myself a copy of that lawsuit. Still hanging on to it. Maybe if I can get Vince to sign it, that would be awesome.
There's a good merch, brother.
Good merch. Oh, goddamn. Oh, all right. What's with that walk that he had?
Do we have to take a pause for ad break?
Yeah, let's do that right now. Take a pause for 3 seconds. Now you got to be quiet.
Can I take a pee break?
No. Just shut up. Get 3 seconds now. All right. Thank you. Thank you for coming. We're back.
We're back. And we're
just
back.
people that were listening on audio. I pulled out a copy in my desk, and when I do this show, I still have a copy of the concussion lawsuit that I was a part of, the class action. The attorney sent it to me, Bill Kairos, and I haven't really talked to him in years, so it kind of got thrown out from what I understand due to statute of limitations. He appealed to the Supreme Court, and that's last I heard about it, and nothing since. So anyway, it kind of fell apart.
I was part of a film. We were making a documentary film, and I don't disclose this, and I'm not trying to make any public statement about any anything that's gonna. It's probably statute of limitations too, because at this point it's probably been 10 years. But and all the parties who are involved aren't alive anymore. But probably 2013, 14, me and my brother-in-law, we were making a wrestling documentary where we centered a good portion of it around Lanny Poffo. Lanny Poffo told us some stories about Randy Savage, and he took us to the tree where Randy crashed, and showed us like the stuff on the stuff that was the fans had stapled onto the tree, and he read to us, and we put it in the voiceover. Read to us the poem that he read as the eulogy for Randy.
Oh wow!
And we made a GoFundMe video to get like finishing funds to make this film. And in the video, we included all that footage. WWE then reshot that shit with Lanny, that exact stuff, and released that Macho Man DVD and made millions off of it. And we went through like entertainment lawyers, and we tried to fight it, try to get some compensation for it. It disappeared. So I'm saying I also we can relate on a little bit of something, being a part of some sort of class action towards.
Yeah. Well, it's understandable. And guess what, people? Sometimes there's a big machine out there you can't really fight against. So, all right. Thank you for joining us. Hey, we're brought to you by Hemisphere Coffee Roasters. Check out the link to the show. Order up some good coffee. This is the StewKast, part of the Combat Zone Network, subsidiary of the Fans First Sports Network. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back again next week, Wednesday at 12:30, talking more pro wrestling. I am Lou Marconi, Corey Castle. Thank you, folks,
Corey
right
Castle.
now. And I'm going to Corey Castle, my partner and co-host.
Support some independent. This move.
Thanks, Michael. Oh, thanks, Michael.